lads, welcome back to another video, and this one is a highly anticipated one because a lot of people ask for these videos around this time of year. When's it going to be uploaded? When are you uploading your predictions video? Are you going to do predictions this year? Well, the answer is yes. Yes, I am. It's one of these videos that, yes, you look forward to doing it because it's just a general kind of football video, but it's also one of these videos that you're kind of tentative to do because at the end of the day, you know your opinion doesn't really matter, but people take your opinion and they can get a bit upset with things you say. So all of my opinions in this video, remember, they don't really matter. I mean, I've said it multiple times, I am just a boy sitting filming in his cupboard pretty much alone, and as happens every video, I don't know why people would take my opinion for any more than they take the next guy's. But you want my opinion on the Scottish Championship predictions, and obviously the Premiership ones will come tomorrow. For now, it's the Championship. You want my opinion, so here it is. My Scottish Championship predictions for the 2019-20 season. As you can see, we've now shifted over to the left hand side of the screen. New setup there for you. So we're going to start down the bottom, and I'm going to put Alloa Athletic. Now, my reasoning for this is just over the course of a season, I don't think they'll have enough. Yes, you could argue massively that Arbroath will be the same, but I think Arbroath will cause a few shocks this season, and yes, Alloa did that last season and defied the odds, but obviously a big factor in that was the Jim Goodwin side of it, and he's now left. He's obviously away at St Mirren now. Whether that was the right choice for him or not at the time waits to be seen. Of course, depends how St Mirren do this season, and you can find out what I think about that in tomorrow's prediction. But obviously I've got Alloa finishing bottom. I just don't think they're going to have enough in terms of the quality over the course of the season. They've done it last season, but I just don't see it. And it will be close between them and Arbroath, I've got no doubt in that, and they could easily swap positions at the end of the season, but for me, I've got Alloa finishing rock bottom and back down to League One. It is Arbroath, as I said, they could easily swap positions. There is no real rhyme or reason for that to not happen, because they're both going to be quite similar this season. Alloa going in with a new manager, so it's not exactly the same format as last season. It's not like we go again, same system, etc, etc. Players will need to adapt. With Arbroath it's different because obviously Dick Campbell is their manager, and they've been horrendously successful in terms of Arbroath when he's been their manager in the last, 3, maybe 4 seasons. He's got them promoted twice and into the playoffs once, I believe. So he's done it extremely well with Arbroath, and I think that will carry on into the Championship season. He's been horrendously successful, as I said, more successful than you would think he would be, and I think that will pay off for him. And I think that the experience in their squad, along with some of the youth etc that they do have, I think that will pay off for them and just see them nick ahead at Alloa and get into the relegation playoff places, which obviously is one better than automatic relegation. Even though I think they will survive, I think they will end up getting picked to the post by whoever they play in the playoffs from League One. So I think both the Championship teams will be relegated this season. In 8th place I've got Queen of the South, and I believe I placed them around this place in last season. If not, I put them in 9th, and I was actually correct with that one. So I'm going to go with sort of a similar prediction again. I've got them in 8th this season. I just don't see where their quality is. Just like last season, I didn't see where their quality was, except from Stephen Dobie, of course. We all know about him, but the rest of their squad is a bit kinda meh, and it's not like they've got a load of standout players. They've lost players like Josh Todd, Lyndon Dykes, etc. So I just don't really see how Queen of the South have improved over this summer. And of course there's still time left in the transfer window. They could still make signings. Alan Johnson being their manager, he's never been horrendous at this level or below that, so I'll give him his credit, but I've said they'll stay up this season. I didn't give them that credit last season, and I think they'll just be saved by the fact that there's 2 part-time teams in the division this season, and in my opinion they'll be the worst of the rest. Ayr United is up next, and I think this is the exact same position I had them finishing in last season, and look how wrong I was with that one. But we all know what's changed since then. They had the player in Lawrence Shankland, who obviously was a key part in any success that Ayr had last season. The team was good as well, and there is no doubt in that as well. The team did perform good over at least the first half of the season, then kind of curtailed a bit in the second half. But I think the loss of Lawrence Shankland will be too much for them. I don't think they'll get relegated. I don't think they'll have anything special this season. I just think that they'll survive and be happy enough with that, content with that, to go again in the Championship in the 2020-21 season. I did make a prediction in a BBC thing that I did a couple of weeks ago, which you will see on TV and social media in the next weeks or months or whatever, where I made a prediction that good guys, Michael Moffat and Chris Doolan, obviously that's the strike partnership at Ayr United this season, I did predict that they won't get 10 league goals between them. So there's a bit of a bold prediction. Obviously Ayers is a bit of a non-entity in terms of a prediction, they're just going to finish mid-table, but in terms of a bold prediction, I'm going to say that their new strike partnership will not get 10 league goals between them. Morton up next. I think it'll be a kind of similar scenario to Ayr. I think their squad is okay and their manager is obviously a good one for this level, but I don't see them pushing for the playoffs in a major case. I just think that they'll have an average season, like I said, with Ayr United. And they might come close to being involved in the playoff chat, but I don't see them really having a realistic chance to get into that talk and even be involved in the actual playoffs themselves. In 5th place, Inverness Caledonian Thistle. I changed my mind at the last kind of seconds when I was putting this together that they would come 5th, and who came in 4th would come in 4th. I'm going to go with Inverness. I just think that I've seen them at the weekend there, and I just don't think they have a hell of a lot about them. They've got still their kind of 3 ball playing players behind the one striker. They've got Tom Walsh, Aaron Doran, and forgive me, can't mind the other one. But they do have those type of players and they will be a benefit to them. But when I was watching them at the weekend against Dundee in the Betfred Cup, I just thought that they were just a bit one-dimensional at times. Whether that was getting the ball out to the wing and crossing it into their target man, or whether that was just lumping it up to him for him to hold it up, etc. Or just when a flick on or something like that. I just thought they were a bit one-dimensional in that sense, and I think that might be what sees them just not get the promotion playoffs that they will be wanting. And it definitely will be a close battle between 5th and 4th, etc. to get into the promotion playoffs, but I don't see Inverness having that quality to get into there. And then in 4th, you could say it's bias, you could say black and white tinted spectacles, you could say piss off, but nah, I'm putting Dunfermline 4th, and it's just simple. I just believe that we're going to do it, we're going to get into the promotion playoffs, and I may be overly optimistic at this point. I did say in recent weeks that I thought, oh well, 6th maybe, and I think even in that BBC thing that I mentioned that I did, I think I said we'd finish 6th. But I've changed my mind now, I'm more optimistic. We're scoring goals again, we've got an actual goal scorer in Kevin Nisbet, who has now scored 2 more goals at East End Park than any other player did, any other Dunfermline player that is, at East End Park last season. He's even overtaken Alan Troughton's record at East End Park last season, so you've got to get a round of applause for that one. We've beaten an Alloa player to top scorer at East End Park. But aye, Dunfermline to finish 4th, just sneak into the promotion playoffs, get involved in the promotion playoffs and see where it takes us. Just let me have it, lads. 3rd, Partick Thistle. I do think they will be a massive threat this season. I've said it for the last couple of months now, and I still do believe it. I think even though they might not have one of the strongest squads on paper, they've got quite a similar squad to last season with a couple of new additions like your Ryan Williamsons, etc. But I do think that they are going to be more of a threat this season. Firhill will always be a relatively tough place to go in terms of getting results, etc. And they're going to be better than last season, and I firmly believe that. So I have them finishing 3rd, more comfortable in the promotion playoffs than, say, Dunfermline or like not in a battle with Inverness to slip out of it or anything like that. I think they will quite comfortably finish in the promotion playoffs and once again have a chance at promotion. Now here's the big one. Who have I got to finish just before the automatic promotion place? In the BBC thing I did, I said Dundee United, and I believed that back then because at that point they'd just signed Lawrence Shankland. I thought, well, that's it really, they've won the league based on that because they've got a goal scorer, they've got Nicky Clark as well, they've got a good squad in general anyway. But ever since then, Dundee United just haven't done it, have they? They've been beaten by East Fife at Tannadice, they've been playing Nicky Clark in an attacking midfield role, and they've just not been getting the best out of their squad in pre-season. So I now have Dundee United finishing second and involved in the promotion playoffs yet again, which I'm sure Dundee United fans will hate the thought of, but it's my opinion now. And I just think that these past few weeks haven't proved to me that I was right to say Dundee United would win the league a couple of weeks ago. So I've got them in second. Lawrence Shankland will no doubt score goals for them, but I don't know if it'll be enough to finally get them promoted automatically. And that'll be music to the ears of the team and the fans who have gotten first, Dundee. And this might be a bit controversial because that means now Dundee are pipping Dundee United to the title that Dundee United have been waiting, what, now 4 seasons to get their hands on. I have Dundee finishing top. Not that they were like fantastic at the weekend, that's not really changed my mind on it, but I think they've got a better overall kind of team ethic and squad. I think the camaraderie is there a lot with them, and I don't know, I just see it being Dundee lifting that trophy come May next year. So that's my opinion. I'm going to kind of leave it on ice just now because again it could be like the relegation places between Alloa and Arbroath where Dundee United and Dundee are probably going to be the ones fighting for the title the most, and it could be a flip of a coin come the last couple of weeks of the season who actually goes on to lift the title. But that's it for this video guys, cheers for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like, comment down below what you think of my predictions and your predictions for the Scottish Championship this season as well. Subscribe for more of this type of content, and until the next video, which will be my Scottish Premiership predictions tomorrow, I'll see you then. Cheers guys.